Hello, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Felipe Pinay. I currently hold the office of President of the Philippines. You may know, the Philippines is one of the developing countries of Global South. Because of a variety of reasons, being the country's history, geopolitical situation, previous leadership, culture, and other factors, there have been obstacles put in the way of truly progressing in the country. However, under my rule and established policies, I plan to bring this country out of development, into transitional development, and ultimately into a full developed countries. The first biggest obstacle the Philippines is facing is the consequence of the long continuous reign of corruption, coupled with inefficiency by the leaders before me. With Ferdinand Marcos' 20-year reign as president, in which he depleted around $10 billion of the country's budget, Joseph Estrada's criminal acts of corruption valuing to more than $85 million, and Arroyo's recent acts of government corruption, the country truly has a lot of recover from. This issue is something that needs to be addressed, and I promise to uplift this country. How will I go about doing so? I have requested political guidance and overseeing from the developed country of the U.S. to help in improving the leadership of this country. The political advisors of the U.S. will offer guidance on how to improve our current government situations and political system. I also promise to implement a more strict judicial branch. This way, if I as president were to ever prove unworthy of my office because I commit a crime, I may be impeached. It has been an issue in the past with our leaders extending their reign against popular public opinion and illegally avoiding impeachment due to a faulty judicial system. I will implement a policy that will prevent further corruption of such acts, and all the more uphold a limited mandate. The second obstacle faced is the large inequality of wealth distribution. Currently, 40% of the labor workforce in the Philippines is greatly working to improve the social services of the country. I will continue to see that more of our country's budget will be put to social welfare programs, especially healthcare, which is another big issue for the Philippines. Our country has a high risk for infection of major diseases. Our leading cause of death is tuberculosis. I will see to it that we direct funds towards implementing the appropriate terabytes vaccine to be more readily given to the citizens of our country, ideally with more available social welfare programs available to the public. The population in poverty will take advantage of such programs, and potentially the population of poverty will decrease. A third obstacle faced is the import-export imbalance within the country. Imported good value at $65 billion, while exports are valued at $59 billion. 2012 estate. If we want the Philippines to experience economic growth, the value of imports should be less than the value at which our exported goods receive. I plan to implement import substitution. Reasonable tariffs will be imposed on imported goods to make imported goods more expensive than goods produced in the country. The final obstacle that will arise amongst my proposed policies is of course sufficient funds. I propose to gain such funds by first seeking foreign aid from the U.S. In a period of our country's history, the U.S. was a big obstacle in the Philippines achieving its independence. It suppressed the Filipino freedom, and for that reason the U.S. should offer foreign aid to our country. Also, I plan to modernize our outdated infrastructure system across the country to attract more foreign investments. With foreign direct investments, other countries will invest in our firms or set up their own firms within the Philippines. This will altogether generate more revenue to be spent on our country's affairs. I thank you for listening to my proposed policies to the major issues I feel need to be addressed in our country. As your new leader, once again I promise to help this country become a powerful developed country.